Hi guys, it's me again. I think many of you are quite interested with the life in the UK. So for today, I'm gonna be talking about the pros and cons of living in the UK, if it's worth it to move here or not. So yeah, let's begin. First, we'll talk about the pros. The pros, I think the first would be the citizenship. The road to citizenship is quite easier than any other countries. I think, especially for nurses. If we opt to be a citizen here, we only have to stay here for 5 years. So my husband has been here for going 3 years already. So in another 2 years, he can apply for ILR, or what we called indefinite leave to remain. But there's a but to that, because if you apply for ILR, you have to pay for the ILR fee, which is £2,885. In our money, that's 203,825.25 pesos, and that's per person. And by the way, the ILR fee, I think nag-increase siya every year. After the ILR, you just have to stay for another year in the UK to apply for citizenship. But there's still a but to that. You also need to pay another fee for the citizenship, which is roughly around £1,500 per person, or that's 105,975 pesos per person. So if you have to apply for ILR on your 5th year, and then for the citizenship on your 6th year, you'll have to at least prepare 1 million pesos if you're a family of 3. Yes, guys. So just average lang na ang amount, because it can increase year per year. Next pro is the free healthcare. Technically, it's not free because we're paying high taxes here. Here in UK, healthcare is free. Even if unsa pa nakamahal ang imong operation, that is free, as well as the medications, as long as the medication was prescribed by an NHS doctor, it's free. It's really easy to get, in a way that hatagan lang ka og like prescription sa doctor, and you just go to the nearest pharmacy, and then you can just tell your name and your date of birth for verification, and they'll have your data, and the chemist, chemist meaning the pharmacist sa atoa, will already give you your prescription. So that's really easy and convenient, especially if wala tay kwarta, or especially if mahal kayo ang atong tambal. Free ang healthcare, so even ang mga mahalon nga mga procedures are also free. For example, if you give birth here in the UK, free ang pagpanganak itself, regardless if normal or CS pa ka, so it's all free. And also, if ever your child will be kanang, if I say, sensitive or allergic sa, or natural allergies sa milk, they will prescribe like a special kind of milk to your child, and that milk is free for as long as the child needs it. Ever simbakon, you have the need to undergo dialysis. As we know, dialysis treatment is really expensive as well. I think sa ato ma-range siya og mga 3K to like 7K per session, and these dialysis patients needs these sessions at least 3 times a week, I think. So if imuha nang i-total in 1 month, that's really a big chunk of your budget in the Philippines. But here in the UK, it is all free. Another thing maybe costly kaayo sa ato would be the cancer treatment, the chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is very costly, sad. But here in the UK, that is free. So yeah, really in a nutshell, there's free healthcare here in the UK. But there's still a catch to it. So same rasad sa tuwa kay free, you still have to wait on queue para to get those services. Especially if like mga hilanat-hilanat lang, they'll tell you really to just wait it out. Mura rasad ang mga public hospitals diri og kinda like Soto nga daghan sa kaayo ang gawait nga patients. Pero of course, it depends on sa pag triage sa patients. Obviously, if you really need an emergency treatment, you will be treated accordingly. Another pro is free education. So, ang education here is free until college. Diba sa ato ang mga British schools sa ato is really expensive, but here we enjoy it for free. So about free education, sa amo ang na-experience, the students here don't have to buy notebooks or pens or pencils or anything other than their school uniform, as well as their bags or school bag. Actually, makaingon ko nga walay gamit ang school bags diri kay they don't carry any homeworks from school. They actually do once a week. So most of the days, ang sulod ra gyud sa bag sa bata is tubig. At least until year 2. So, and also at school, up until year 2 or grade 2, students are eligible for a free lunch. So you don't have to worry about food as well kay makaskwela ra gyud imong anak nga free plus free pa gyud ang food. Hi. Next pro is the maternity leave. So here in the UK, you are entitled for a 12-month maternity leave. As I have known from my friends who gave birth, they're fully paid up until like on the 3rd month, and then after the 3rd month to maybe 9th month, kay statutory maternity salary na lang ang ilahang gina-receive. But still, diba, that's really nice that you can be with your child for 1 year and you're also still paid. Next is annual leave. So ang annual leave namo here is 28 days, so it's almost a month. As you stay longer in the company, your sick leave will eventually be more than 28 days, depending on your tenure in the company, and of course depending on your company policy, but that's the minimum, 28 days. Now I think another pro would be their public transport. So their public transport here is really nice. It's great because it's really efficient. So you can just check the schedule of the bus online and it leaves on schedule. So it doesn't really necessarily have to wait for any passenger or like dapat punon ang bus for them to leave. No, if schedule ani ang bus is it has to leave at like 1:30, it will really leave at 1:30. Next pro is the people here are polite and friendly. So in a day, it's normal nga people will always say sorry maski wala sila isala sa mo. They're really polite, I think, and for me, if na ako'y siguro masaghiran, ibutang talang na nga example, if I wouldn't say sorry, that would be really really rude. Siguro they'll isa their kilay against me and like think that I'm really rude. I know that it's should be um, normal to say sorry when you are sorry, but here excessive lang yun kaayo ang ilang sorry and thank you. Like every day wouldn't be a British day if you haven't heard the word sorry and thank you. So yeah. Next is the weather. The weather, for those of you who like 4 seasons, UK would be a great place for you because we have 4 seasons here: winter, spring, summer, and fall or autumn. But take note that it can still get really cold during spring and summer. So the summer here is like summer but naa ka sa Baguio. So it's not really that cold, but it's still cold, at least for me, ha. And it's not too hot either. Next, work-life balance. I think compared to the Philippines, we have really nice work-life balance here, given that you are entitled to 28 weeks annual leave or vacation leave. And also if you get sick, you don't really need to go to the doctor and ask for a medical certificate. You just say that you're sick and your manager will then tell you to just, to just rest at home. It's really nice because, and that is even if masik pa ka og like months, that's okay because they really value health here in the UK. Another pro would be the free dental services for children. So dental services, as we know, can be very expensive, and it's free for children, which is really nice. Healthcare is free for everybody. The dental services is especially free for children up to 18 years old. So that's really nice, right? Now the first cons would be like what I said in my previous video, is the cost of living. So if you haven't watched that yet and you want to know the cost of living here in the UK, you can go to the previous video before this and see, because it's something that is worth knowing, especially if you are planning to go here or migrate here. Cons would be houses here are small. Yeah, I can maybe show you our 2-bedroom house that we are renting for £700 per month here, and you can really say that it's small. Bisan ako, I can say that it's small compared to the houses that we have in the Philippines. But it can also be, subjective in a way that it depends po kung unsa ang small and big for you. So it's just my own opinion. The houses here are quite small. Next cons would be still the weather. The weather is cold. If you don't like the very cold weather, like me, because I have hypothyroidism, so I get cold easily. So if you're like me,
Mom, I want a snack.
Then the weather here wouldn't really be nice for you, or wouldn't be as enjoyable for you, because it's always cold or gloomy. So it's either cold and raining or cold and gloomy. Yeah, even in summer it can still get cold. I'm exaggerating, but I think for me 60% or maybe even 70% of the time it's gloomy here in the UK, so you can easily get depressed. Our mood is also triggered by the weather. So next cons would be the dental care for adults are not free, and of course it's really expensive. So most of the Filipinos that I know, if they need to have a dental service, they'll have it scheduled only when they go back to the Philippines, because it's it's way cheaper to have it there than in here. So yeah, that's one of the cons. Next is dining out is expensive. I also talked about this in my previous video. Eating out or dining out could easily cost you around 50 to 80 pounds for a family of 3. So it is really expensive, at least for me. That's really expensive for me. So yeah, so that's it. That's the pros and cons of living here in the UK. Now, to sum it up or to conclude, is UK still worth it? I think it's really subjective, guys. For me, if you are living quite nicely or quite well already, or you're well off already, you have the means to splurge in the Philippines, I think it's really nice to just stay there, because your life here wouldn't really be the same. I mean, of course it wouldn't be the same, no, but the the um the comfort that you have in the Philippines, if you have a good life there, you'll have all the help that you need, especially when you have a child. Pwede ra ka magkuha og miyaya. Although here you can have your kid, you can send your kid to a childminder or sa ato pa yaya, but it really is costly. It would cost around maybe 40 pounds per day for only 8 hours. So if your living conditions in Philippines is like okay na, you're not, even if you're not rich in the Philippines but you are living comfortably, you're not scarce with food and money, I think it's worth to still stay in the Philippines, or and just maybe have a visit here in the UK. You can just be a tourist here and see it for yourselves how beautiful the country is. But if you live in the Philippines nga with a really low salary, and you can't provide for your family, you can't provide for your children, you are always thinking of where to get the next meal from, or if like magkasakit imong mga kids, you don't have an extra money for the medicines, then I think UK is worth a try, or even any other countries abroad is worth a try. So in conclusion, it really depends on you guys, how you see things here from afar, and how you take all that I have said here in this video. But personally for me, since I'm here already, do I think UK is worth it? I think because my family is here, my son and my husband is here, I think it is still worth it. Although I really miss my mom and my family and friends back in the Philippines. I miss the food in the Philippines. I miss the swaki and all that, the seafood, because the seafood here is also expensive. Although I miss all that, staying here is still worth it for me because my family is here. And I think at the end of the day, it's not always about the money. Money is not always your priority, or my priority at least, because I have a growing family. So that's why even though life here is hard, it's harder than the life I have in the Philippines. I mean, in the Philippines, I have 2 iyaya for my son. I can go anywhere I like, whenever I like. I can have the food that I'm craving, and I'm also near to my family, especially my mother, who's already getting old. So I miss all those. But you know, when you have a family of your own, you have to make sacrifices. So you either stay together and, you know, brave all the storms that you may face, or stay apart and just wait for the storm to end and brave another kind of storm, being away from each other, having your kid grow up missing one parent. So it's really a sacrifice either way. And I'm really, really proud of every Filipinos that has to work abroad for better opportunities and for better future for their family, especially those that are not with their family. It's, I don't know, it's, I mean, ma-depress magani ko nga naa pa akong family diri. How much more you guys that you are alone. So laban lang yun ta sa life. Maura gyud akong masulti. And for all of the Filipinos out there like me and my family are away from our family and friends in the Philippines, I know one day all these sacrifices will be worth it. Alright, that's all for this video, guys. See you on the next one. Bye!